If it ain't one scheme, it's another. You watching a video about a damn scheme, you might as well buy some of this tea. Drop down in the description box and get you some of this tea and this NutriBurst. Bye. Listen here. If y'all don't stop calling my goddamn phone trying to recruit me into these illegal gambling boards that y'all running, talking about you put in 500 and you get out 2,000, or you put in 200 and you get out 1,200, bitch, well, okay, stop calling my phone with this foolishness with these Sou Sou boys. Nessa girl, you wanna know what I'm talking about? Here you go. Baby girl, let me tell you something. Black people, y'all some of the most creative damn people I have ever met on the planet Earth. About 3 months ago, I started getting phone calls from various friends talking about, do you want to play the board? Do you want to play the board? I'm on this board. I'm on that board. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And so everybody like, oh, you know, you put in 200, you get out 1,100, and don't quote me on the amounts. You put in 400 and you get back 5,000. And listen, I'm one of those people where if something sounds too good to be true, usually it is, right? And so there are very few people in my life that can convince me to do things. Now, I had a friend recently. Let me back up. I had a friend from Atlanta call and asked me about a $400 board, and you get back, I don't know, 12 or 1,600. And then she asked me about a $1,000 board, and you get back 4,000 or something like that. And because I trust this person, and she said she had cashed out a couple times, I was willing to do the 400, right? That fell through. Then another homeboy of mine from Miami called and said it's a $400 board, a $500 board, and you get back 4,000 or something. And he's somebody I trust. And I was like, well, bitch, you do it first with your money. And once you get a payout, let me know, and then I'll think about doing it. Because on the surface, it feels like a scam and a scheme. And every time I would ask said person who was calling me, nobody could effectively articulate to me how it is I put in I put in $200 and I get out $1,600. Now, when I went to Florida State University and got my degree in economics, some people taught me well enough. Them people taught me how to count well enough to know that, bitch, it has to be some level of pyramid-esque scheme in order for it to happen. I was able to deduce on my own that the person, because everybody was asking that you pay your money and then you recruit 2 people. So me just using the functional piece of brain that I have, not the Kanye piece, but the functional piece, I was able to say, okay, it sounds like the person is getting paid based on the new people entering the lottery per se. So then my risk management mind started to work and say, okay, well, bitch, at some point, somebody ass not gonna get paid. Because somebody gonna stop recruiting and somebody gonna be sitting there waiting on their money and they not gonna get paid. So 2 days ago, my cousin called me. And she said, you know, cousin, you know, the board, I did the board, I don't cashed out twice already, you know, do you want to get on this board? And so now this is blood. This is love. My cousin not gonna lie to me. And she ain't got no reason to. So since she said she had done cashed out twice, once or twice, and the investment was only $200. About an hour ago, y'all, I went in, child. They done got me involved in the Sou Sou, right? So here it is. I'm sitting at brunch with my homegirl, Cindy, and I'm like, friend, my cousin just called and told me about this thing. I don't quite understand how it worked. You put in $200, you get back $800. Cindy was like, shit, bitch, I'm broke too. I need money. She was like, I mean, I got it. I do it right now. So I called my cousin and get on the line. So you got to download this app called Telegram, and they got these different little groups or whatever. And so when I downloaded the app, it sent an all call to everybody on Telegram. And I got another homegirl in Miami who got the notification that I'm now on Telegram. So she asked me, had I been playing these games? And I said, no, I don't know much about it. Everybody been asking me about it. My cousin just recruited me. I just paid my $200. She said she had been playing all quarantine and she had been cashing out all across the place, you know, 8,000 here, 4,000 here, 100 here. And so this is a businesswoman, somebody that I trust, somebody that I know, and somebody who's real serious about her money. So I invited her to join the group that me and my cousin them is doing or whatever. And she needed some clarity on how they was running their board. And then she called me and actually helped put my mind at ease and better understood the way this thing worked and spoke to me in the terminology in which I needed to hear. And I felt compelled to make a video for some of y'all, so y'all can make educated decisions when it comes to these boards and the Sou Sou. I looked it up. Now, Sou Sou, if you look it up, is actually something that has been going on in the West Indian, Caribbean, and Jamaican and African cultures for a while. It's sort of an informal savings club, a way of flipping and rotating your money without the government or the man being in the system. It is a pyramid scheme to a degree where you have, I'm going to put the pictorial representation up, but you have these different boxes, right? And each person puts in, let's say we put in $200, you should get back 8 times your money. So you put in 200, you should get out 1,600, and that's because everyone who comes in is to recruit 2 other people. That way, the 2 people that you recruit that are putting in their $200 always ensures that the person in the middle is getting paid. So the way it works is there's a situation. When I bring in 2 people, it pushes me up closer to the center. And then when those people bring in 2 people, it pushes me up to the center. And then those 2 people bring in 2 people, it pushes me to the center. And when I get to the center is when I get my $1,600 payout if you do a $200 board. Now, since this has gotten very popular, people are doing all sorts of, different rules. People are creating their own boards and running them the way that they want to run. Here's what I want to educate you guys on, because here's what my homegirl said to me. And here's what I think is important to know. There's definitely a bait and switch component to this, because when a bitch tell you put in 200 and get out 8, 9, 16, hell, you get out more than 2. Of course, that sounds very interesting and lucrative. You like, shit, I ain't got to do nothing. Oh, and mind you, the turnaround time on the board that I'm on right now is 3 to 5 days. At the end of the day, though, you are gambling and you are taking a risk, because at some point the board is going to die. If people stop bringing in people or they stopped re-gifting, somebody gonna end up losing their money. And that was my concern before I was gonna give somebody $1,000. Now, I did this little $200 board. I ain't gonna lie to you, if I don't get my $200, I'll be disappointed, but I won't be mad. Now, the way that they run in this particular board that I'm on is, in order for you to get out of the Sou Sou, you have to reinvest $200. So that safeguards people coming in from ever losing their initial investment. But the thing about it is, the whole thing operates on the honor system, right? And it's important that if you do join one of these boards or the Sou Sou, that you do it with people who are trustworthy, because when I get my 800 that I'm about to get from them, the rules of the game is that if I want to get out of the savings club, I'm supposed to re-bless somebody with $200, but what's making me do it? What's making me do it? A bitch can't tell me what to cash out. Bitch, I got my money and ran. You know, as have a lot of people done. They've gotten their money and ran, or they've gotten their money and not recruited other people, and the board went dead and folks ended up losing their money. So I say that to say this. At the end of the day, it's a scheme. It's a scheme that works. If you get in early, and if you do it with the right people. Google the word Sou Sou, S-O-U, and get a better understanding for yourself. But I just needed to vent. I done did this little $200 board. My homegirl, who I said that trust, that explained it to me, she said she putting together a $1,000 board that'll pay out $8,000. So the minute she hit me, I'm going to put my $1,000 in because I know where she stay. And bitch, if I don't get my motherfucking money, I'm going around there and tearing up everything, pouring water oil in her pool, and I'm whooping ass. Because, you know, the little 200, if I lose that, it was a risk I took. I'm going to be mad as fuck if I lose my $1,000. And then here's one thing an old dope boy taught me a long time ago. After you hit a lick, leave it alone. That's scripture, y'all. Write that down. After you hit a lick, leave it alone. I don't put this little 2 in. I'm going to get this 8. I'm going to do that 1,000. And if that 1,000 flip to whatever couple thousand that is flip, I'm done. Because at some point, like I said, the board is going to die and somebody going to lose their money. Y'all drop down in the comments. Let me know what your experience with the Sou Sou board has been. What you put in, what you got out, what you heard, if you lost your money. Please educate us because, bitch, people need money in these corona streets. And I'm going to share with y'all whatever I can if it'll help you get a little money, a little extra. A little extra never hurt nobody. Y'all hoes too lazy to sell the tea and the NutriBurst. Maybe the Sou Sou is easier for you or whatever. I just wanted to tell y'all about it and better educate you about it. Matter of fact, I'm going to drop down in the description box. I'm going to put a link so y'all can better help understand the Sou Sou as I'm starting to understand it. And I want to hear y'all experience with the board and how you double, triple, quadruple your money and all that. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll call you later. Don't get got. Bad.